Well, hey, everybody. Welcome back to the podcast Behind the Line. I'm the co-host, Tyler, and this is the host.
Or the other co-host, Elliot.
We're co-hosts, yeah. Both equals in this relationship. But yeah, welcome back. We got a lot going on. It's February.
It's February.
The love month.
Officially February.
Mm-hmm. Just got snow finally.
I know. A lot of it, too. It felt like it never stopped.
It was going for a long time, but it was like 3 inches.
I will say I officially had to bring out my snowblower.
Me too.
I hadn't done anything. I was like, I got four-wheel drive. I can just roll over it. And then I realized, it's not stopping. So
yeah. And then when you do that, I've done this before, you just keep driving over it, and then it's just a sheet
it's
of
just ice. Yeah.
Until June 1st.
Oh, yeah.
That's annoying.
My driveway looks like the United Center right now. It's just straight ice everywhere. Like
people, a hockey game broke out.
Yeah, dude. People got lawn chairs out around it's just ridiculous right now. So
that's funny.
So what do we got this month? We got
a lot going on this month, actually, which we we didn't remember until recently.
Keep us in the loop.
So we're starting a new series.
Yes.
Called With a Minor In.
Mm-hmm.
3-week series focusing on some minor prophets. I think they're locked in: Micah, Hosea, and Obadiah.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool. Just, things that we don't normally dive into, we'll be able to focus on and learn a lot from them. You know why they're minor and major prophets?
Do I know what?
Like why they're minor prophets versus the major prophets?
I actually don't know. I want to say it's because they're prophets in the Bible that aren't mentioned a ton. But
it's just length of the book, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that would mean they aren't mentioned a ton, though, right?
Well, yeah, I guess. But yeah, because like Daniel's like a super long book, where Obadiah is, I think, 25 or 24 verses. It's like real short.
I don't know how I'd feel about being called a minor prophet.
Yeah. Well, you're just a little guy. No, but I mean, I say that because they're just as important. It's just the book is shorter.
Right.
Everything's important in the Bible. Did you know that?
I sure did.
Cool.
Actually.
Good. And then I know you're excited about this. Arctic Blast.
Yes.
10th through the 12th.
Arctic Blast is the 10th through the 12th.
Student retreat.
Yes, it's our student retreat, and we are super excited for it. It's going to be, and no pun intended, it's going to be a blast. We
Arctic Blast.
would love if your child or if your student has not registered yet, please.
Please. Actually pause. Just hit the pause button. Like and subscribe, but then hit the pause and then go do that right now.
Please. Listen, Zach and I are trying to take over the job of Chelsea right now because she had a beautiful baby girl named Penelope. Shout out to the Garretts. Mm-hmm. But Zach and I combined have maybe a third of Chelsea's administrivia. So
this is true.
I don't want your kid to get like lost and forgotten or something like that. Or
they're going to be well cared for.
They will be,
but getting them registered and to the retreat takes a lot of administrative skills.
There will be other responsible adults there as well too. So, but between all of us, your kid's not going to get forgotten. I'm just kidding. But yes, please register, please.
And then we're going to be doing an item of the month throughout this year. And so for February, the organization we're going to be supporting is Rockford Rescue Mission, doing amazing work. And there's a few things they need. We're narrowing down the couple items that we're going to be collecting. I know they need like plastic silverware and chapstick and alcohol-free mouthwash and things like that. So we're narrowing it down, but you're going to see those set up in the lobby all throughout February. And all throughout the year, we're going to switch organizations. But the first one is going to be Rockford Rescue Mission. So look out for that. We're starting 2 different classes. One is apologetics and one is Financial Peace University on, was it the 7th?
Oh, boy.
Yep, February 7th. Those are starting. And so you can register for those. Financial Peace is amazing if you're trying to get your finances in order and learn how to handle that in a God-honoring way. And then the apologetics class is going to be 4 weeks, and it's just going to walk through what we believe and why we believe it. And it's a way for us to be able to explain to other people why we believe what we believe. I think we walk through our faith sometimes, I believe this about my faith, but I don't really know why, or I can't articulate it maybe. And so apologetics is just a great way to do that and a great tool. So register for one of those. And then what else?
We got worship night or night of worship on February 24th.
All right.
Which those are smash hits here. So we'd love for you to come join us. It's a great time, a great opportunity to just slip away for a second, and it breaks up your week even more. Usually I think the last one was on a Thursday. Let me see what day this was on. This was on Friday. So it's just a great opportunity to like have another God moment in your week and break it up a little bit more, and just really worship with your State Line family. It's a cool experience. So
yep.
I would implore you to get there if you can, Friday, February 24th. And I think that's all we have.
Yeah,
that's all we got.
That's February.
So do you have a January moment of the month?
I do, and it's kind of like, I don't want it to feel like self-serving, but I gave a message last week, couple weeks ago now, about restoring relationships.
Yeah,
and it's a tough topic, and the things that I said could sting a little bit. Where, because I said this all throughout the messages, I get that it's, the other people have a big part to play in the conflict that you're in.
Yeah,
but the moment for me, or the moments, was just the amount of people that responded to me.
Yeah.
How helpful it was. And whenever I go into a message, I don't care if I feel good about it. I don't need to feel good. It's not about me. And I always pray, like, God, more of you, less of me. I just want it to be helpful and to be hope-filled too. And just the amount of messages that I got about people reaching out to somebody they haven't reached out to in a long time, or thinking about what a next step could be, and all that, or sharing it with somebody who it was helpful to. I got those messages too. Just, I love that, because I know that God's working in it. And I was able to share a little bit of my story, which I think was helpful for people to hear, like, oh, he's going through it too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And if you haven't heard it yet, go back and listen. I think it was helpful to a lot of people.
Definitely. I can even say one of the most helpful parts for me was when you started breaking down the apologies. Mm-hmm. And you talked about the apology, I'm sorry if, and that is like one of my go-to apologies. I realized I didn't even think about it. It was like subconscious as how many times I've said it.
Oh, I've done it too.
And the way that you broke it down was like, oh, I thought to myself, even if I feel like I didn't intentionally do something, like it's me avoiding the fact, or trying to find fault, or trying to put my best foot forward in the way that I'm apologizing. So just saying, I'm sorry because I did this. Like, it's like taking ownership in what you did.
Yeah.
Because saying if is like, you're saying, oh, I might have, it's possible that I might have done it.
But you put doubt in the other person then.
Right.
Yeah.
And you assume that everybody feels the same way about something that you do, or that they should be, So yes, go listen to the message, please. It was really good. This whole series has been awesome.
It has been awesome. Yeah.
It's been really awesome. So,
and yeah, I know we're recording this a little bit before the 29th, but this is going to be a really powerful one too.
Yeah. Yes. With a minor, and it's going to be awesome as well. So you don't want to miss church from now.
Come to church
from now until next February 1st. You don't want to miss church. So be
well, February 1st of 2052.
Yes, that's more appropriate.
Then you
answer.
can stop coming to church.
Then you can stop. Yep. Until the Lord calls you home, then you can stop. All right. My moment was actually a little bit self-serving too, I guess, in kind of a way. I went to Colorado over the span of like a couple days. And just for transparency's sake, I usually struggle leaving on a Sunday because I bounce around and do like a bunch of random things. And if something goes wrong, which happens a lot of the times, I fix it on a Sunday morning, or, I also teach on Sunday nights. And so sometimes it's really hard for me to detach and just be where I am. But this past, mini trip was wild because everybody just did their stuff and they didn't need me, and it was kind of crazy. And I just wanted to just give a shout out to, not that, just a shout out to everybody for how hard they work. And it really felt like, man, my team is awesome. While I was there, I never feared. I knew Zach was going to do a great job. I knew Chelsea was going to do a great job. I knew you guys are going to do a great job. And if anything needed to be fixed, it would be fixed, So I just felt like such a sense of peace. And so I just want, my moment of the month was just to shout out the team because they're awesome. And
we do have a really good team. And there's never a time when like Greg is gone or I'm gone, or even when we're both gone, when the church misses a step, because our team is so solid.
Yeah.
And like if Logan's not here, Zach does a great job with worship and vice versa. And it just all around, like, we are blessed to have that.
Yeah.
Because not all churches have that.
Really,
So,
they really don't. And so I was just so like reminded, like, wow, our team really is great. Like they do a great job, and they're super talented. So shout out to the staff for
sure
for my moment of the month. And up next, we've got the verse of the month, and it comes out of 1 Peter chapter 1, and it's verse 6. It says this: "So be truly glad. There is wonderful joy ahead, even though you must endure many trials for a little while." I've been doing a study on 1 Peter for a decent bit, and it's been I've read it before, but I don't know why. Like now, it's just really there's been a lot of things that I've just been I feel like all of 1 Peter is like highlighted yellow right now in my Bible.
Beating it up with that highlighter.
Just I need to change colors, I think, because it's getting ridiculous now. But there's just so many pieces, and I love the portions in which it talks about like trials and struggles, and I think oftentimes I'm always looking at the world through like a doom and gloom lens, where I'm like, oh, this is, of course, like, oh, the devil was out to get me here. Oh, the devil's out to get me there. You know, I think Greg talked about this actually in the Power of Re, which again, you should go listen to this series. But I realized this kind of like reframed some of the trials and some of the things that I'm going through right now. And I was like, wait a minute, this is only going to make my faith stronger, and it's only for a little while. You know, it's not forever. It's not for the rest of your life. It's just for a little while. And so if you can endure this for just a little while, you'll see how it makes your faith stronger, you know? And I was just really encouraged by that. And so I don't know what you listening are going through, but I want you to know that it is temporary. It's just for a little while. And I don't want to devalue or diminish, you know, whatever you're going through at all. Not in the least bit, but know that in the grand scheme of things, it is temporary, and that ultimately our faith as a result grows.
Yeah.
So I was just really encouraged by that, this past week. So I wanted to share that.
Love it. Good stuff.
Yeah. So what do you got next? Is it Greg? Is his moment now? I think
so.
It's Greg. Okay, so Greg's moment I actually am going to give him a little bit of praise. We've been roasting him for months now, like
so fun to
2 years straight for months. We've been roasting him. So I'm sure I'm going to find a way to roast him in this somehow. But I made a bet with Greg that he couldn't get me all of the like series and all this stuff through. I don't remember what the date was. It was a long time. It was like
3 months out.
3 months.
So you have to backtrack a little bit. So Elliot's in charge of like a lot of the things you see on the screens.
Yeah.
The look, the feel, the video that plays before the teacher comes out, all that stuff.
Right.
Elliot does. And sometimes Elliot doesn't know what he's doing until days before, because we're not always planned out super far. And so it's a constant thing of like, let's get planned a little bit further. And, you know, Greg and me and all of the team were like, yeah, we should. And then it doesn't quite happen that way.
Right.
It does hinge a lot on Greg. And so this is where that came from.
So Greg is notorious for like, I feel like it's two opposite extremes. Either he's very, very well thought and planned out, or he's like, I don't know. Or he like changes gears like really quickly, which is funny. It's just part of his personality. And so I was like, yeah, okay, I'll bet you lunch that you're not going to get us all these sermon series. And so he won. I bought him lunch, and now we have so many things, and I've got the next series and all that stuff. I'm so hyped and so ready. So I don't feel like I lost at all. I feel like I won. I don't know, but
now the pressure's on you.
Now I know the pressure is on me, but
hold on, I'm going to look at so right now, technically, he has it planned out to May 28th.
Holy. So that's a big one. I had to shout my guy out for that. That's a big win.
Yeah.
And now there is a lot of pressure on me, because now I've known since January what we're doing in May. So if I don't have it together,
right, it's on you.
That's on me. So shout out to Greg. Your moment of the month is praise and thanks and adoration. So that's a very churchy word to say. Good job. But
I love it.
So that's Greg's moment of the month. Next, we have our a little bit of a bonus section, I think.
A little bonus section, yeah.
We got something for, I guess the ladies could be included, but fellas really is because fellas are notoriously bad. It's love month. You got to be intentional.
Valentine's Day.
You got to put the work in.
It's on a Tuesday. It'll sneak up on you.
Valentine's Day is going up on a Tuesday, so you need to be ready. So what we did, because we're so thoughtful and we're so helpful, what we decided to do is we made a list of 5 things you should not do, okay, or not get on Valentine's Day. So we're really throwing you a bone here.
Right.
Really throwing you a bone.
So if you're already planning and one of these is on your list, just scratch it right now. go back to the drawing board.
We are saving your life right now, if that's the case.
All right, so we're going to go back and forth and draft our top 5 things not to do on Valentine's Day.
So you go first.
I'll go first. All right. The number one thing you shouldn't do.
You're going number 1 right off the rip?
Well, oh no, 5. Should I go 5 to 1? This is
gotta build the suspense.
This is number 5. Yes.
Okay.
Is go to Applebee's.
Go to Applebee's.
You never should go to Applebee's. Never.
Never ever.
You never ever should go to Applebee's. But especially on Valentine's Day. Have you been to Applebee's?
Yes, I have been to Applebee's before.
One of the 7 layers of hell, I think.
It is
do not
great.
go to Applebee's. So if you're like, we're going to go get the Oreo shake, like the song said, don't do it. Don't do it. Do not go to Applebee's. That's my number 1 advice. Or my number 5 advice. Oh boy.
Yeah. I don't do that. Honestly, I feel like all of mine are the number 1 worst. So I'm just going to rattle mine off. My number 5 is do not get the Amazon gummy bears for candy, okay?
What is that? Amazon brand?
No. So Haribo makes sugar-free gummy bears that apparently give people like crazy diarrhea.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you go on Amazon and you look up Haribo sugar-free gummy bears, there are a bazillion reviews that are like 1 star that talk about what it did to people's insides.
Diarrhea for days.
Just awful.
Oh no.
And you might be like, my wife's on a health kick this year, and I know she's trying to get fit. I want to be conscious about that. Do not get her those, okay? If you're gonna go all in. Just get her with all the sugar, extra sugar if you can, okay? So that's my number 5.
All right, my number 4 is don't break up with her.
Don't break
on Valentine's Day.
That's number 4.
Yeah. That just makes for a really bad day.
Number 1 must be awful then. If that's number 4,
you'll see. Could you imagine being in an Applebee's and somebody breaking up with you? Oh, dude, that's endgame material.
Just compound interest.
Yeah.
At that point, if you end up in an Applebee's on Valentine's Day, you know what's coming next. It has to be. It's over.
It's a breakup.
It has to be. That's really funny. My number 4. I've seen this on the internet. It's probably just my generation, millennials. I think you're a millennial too, right?
I'm at the tail end of it.
Younger millennials, Gen Z, is that after me? I think. I've seen this on the TikTok, on the Instagram reels. People like to get their significant other like an outfit and like plan out all this, like make it look really cool, like plan out the whole day, and like they do a little like
Salt Bae?
No, not Salt Bae. If you're watching, I'm doing a weird thing with my hands, so that's why I said Salt Bae. They get index cards and they're like, pick where you want to go, all that. Okay. If you're going to do that and you're going to get them a dress or some kind of clothing item, do not get them the wrong size.
Oh, yeah.
Don't.
You cannot win there.
If anything, get like an extra small. And then they're like, oh my gosh.
That doesn't work either.
Okay. So
you get it too big and they're like, oh, you think I'm this size? And then you get it way too small. They're like, oh, you wish I was this size? It doesn't work. I'm telling you, man, don't buy clothing.
Just don't. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Don't do it. Okay. Just don't risk your life. Just don't do it. All right.
That's a good one. That's good advice right there.
So don't get your significant other any clothing item.
So my last one is don't break up with her. The number 3 is swinging the pendulum too far the other way. Don't propose to her just because it's Valentine's Day.
Right.
Be like, oh, is this what I'm supposed to do? It's
Right.
the third date. You want a ring? No, don't do that. Don't propose.
Don't be drunk in love like Beyonce, okay? Just chill out for a second. Sober up. Remember, this is a love day.
Yeah.
Everybody's in love right now. Just relax,
Yeah.
okay? Relax. That's great advice. Don't do that. Number 3. This might not be as obvious, but I'm trying to help you out. Don't ask her if she has any plans for Valentine's Day. Don't do that. Assume that she thinks you're making plans for
Yes.
Valentine's Day. If you ask her, hey, do you have any plans for Valentine's Day? You know what you're saying? I didn't think about Valentine's Day, and I hope
Right.
you did. So don't do that, okay?
good. That's
Make
good.
sure that you have a plan in mind, okay? Or you could say, have a plan B. You could be like, hey, do you have any plans? Because if you don't, here's what we could do, right? Okay, just don't ask. Just assume.
That's good. Good advice. My number 2. This could be one of 2 things. I'll go with this, but don't buy her like a cleaning tool, like a vacuum or something.
Yes. Don't do that.
Even if she said she wanted it, like, and she's talked about it, not for Valentine's Day. Just
Right.
get it, cuz, but not for Valentine's Day.
Right. That's whack. Would you want that for Valentine's Day?
Happy
Of course
Valentine's
not.
Day. Go vacuum. It's bad. The other one that would be kind of in the same vein would be like an exercise equipment, piece of exercise equipment.
You shouldn't get that for anybody though.
Well, I mean, if they want it, but not for like Valentine's Day.
Right.
Yeah.
Not for unassuming, people
Yeah.
are like, oh, wow, thanks. My number 2 is don't ask, didn't we celebrate this last year?
That's awesome.
You probably did. And it's just a newsflash. It's going to happen again for the rest of your life. The day will happen. So,
And don't double down on that with, it's just a Hallmark holiday.
Right.
That doesn't get you anywhere.
Right. That's not how we do it, okay? That's not how we do it. Just assume that it's coming, be ready for it, and don't ask her if we celebrated it last year because you did, okay?
funny.
That's my number 2.
All right, my number 1, this is good advice, and to be prepared even if it's not Valentine's Day. But on Valentine's Day, don't try Indian food for the first time. Have you ever had Indian food? It's a wild ride.
That's worse than breaking up with.
Yeah, because could you imagine what could happen if you don't have the intestinal fortitude for that? And you're just like, you're on a date and then you leave the date and you're doing something else like a walk or something and you're nowhere near a bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
Bad news.
Oh my gosh.
You might as well just break up with her.
Oh
at
yeah,
that point.
it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. Yeah. Or
Love Indian food.
Or
Not
if you
knocking
have
Indian food, but you got
peanut
to build
allergies.
up to it.
If you have peanut allergies, also don't try Indian food. So if you have a weak stomach and if you have peanut allergies, just don't do it, okay?
Yep.
Because that'll end bad for you. That's really funny. That's hilarious. Mine is along the same vein. It's in the food category. Don't order McDonald's DoorDash for dinner. Okay,
That's the whole date.
like come on, don't do
Step
that.
up your
like
game.
first of all, don't DoorDash at all
Right,
because
go out.
because Applebee's is already an issue. So don't DoorDash at all. First and foremost. Secondly, if you're gonna DoorDash, make it something expensive. Lord have mercy.
I actually don't mind the DoorDash. Like if you have something nice set up at home and it's like a good date, you just want to maybe save money but do something romantic. But yeah, not McDonald's.
Yeah.
Get some like sushi or something.
Lucha.
Some sushi.
Shout out Lucha.
Shout out to Lucha.
But yeah, that was
Yeah, I love Lucha.
so good.
I kind of want that right now.
Can Lucha sponsor this podcast?
It's sponsored by
should
Lucha.
we reach out?
We're just giving them shout outs for free though.
I
That's
guess
free
so.
money for Lucha.
We could. This podcast is sponsored by Lucha Cantina today. So,
I'm down with it.
well, that's all we got for you today. That is the Behind the Line for February. Thank you for joining us. Happy Valentine's Day. Remember our list.
Don't do it.
Don't do anything on our list. And we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye.